All right, everybody. UnHappy Friday coming to you live once again back here at our humble abode. This is the UnHappy Gilmore Show, powered by Green Legion Radio and part of the Green Legion Radio family. We thank you for joining us tonight from wherever you may be and whatever service you're using to tune in. So please do us a favor. Turn up the volume, pull up a chair, crack open a cold one if you've got the opportunity. I will not be partaking this evening. But you go ahead if you've got the opportunity. Hopefully you are not still stuck at work at this hour on a Friday. And let's try to have some fun as we put an end to this week's hostage situation and look forward to another almighty weekend. Yeah, back here at home this week after last week we did rounds 2 and 3 live from the Back Porch Saloon last Friday night. Always a good time up there. We thank Mike, my Midwest Eagles Nest partner, and thank him and the Back Porch for having us. Decent little turnout that we had there. We thank John Lynch again for coming on late in the show to talk birds with us for a little bit. I know he enjoyed that, and we enjoyed it too. So who's in the room? Lou Mancini says Fridays are tough for me. What's the matter? You drinking your dinner again? Andy Begley in the room. Happy Friday, roomies. Let's go. All things Philly. Happy belated birthday to Andy Begley. So, what the hell have you guys been up to all week? For me, it's just been another week. I am looking very much forward to a nice, relaxing weekend at home. For those of you that don't know, and I've not really talked about it much, my son Liam he's going out for the freshman football team, right? He's finishing up 8th grade this year. He'll be a freshman next year. He's going out for the freshman football team, and they've got them practicing twice per week right now, and it's basically all weight room. And it's something he's not done before. So he is behind. You know, these other kids have been doing this for a little bit, for obviously for longer. They're a little stronger. They've been doing it longer. So he's a little behind and he knows it. So he wanted to get to a gym and start working out even more outside of just the football practice. Well, he's only 13. Won't be 14 until August. And so he can't exactly go join a gym by himself. So I figured it wouldn't do me any harm to join him. And so we went and we got a Planet Fitness membership. And for the last couple of weeks, I've been going with him. Now, Liam is not the only one who's a little behind. Those of you who have met me in person, let's just say I'm uniquely shaped to enjoy a whole lot of food. So, there's a lot of rust to knock off and, work to be done. But it's a good feeling. However, it has also taken its toll on me. And while we are going to go this weekend, it's supposed to rain here all weekend long, which sucks because you don't get to go outside and have fun and whatever. But I am very much looking forward to a nice, relaxing weekend here at home. We'll hit the gym first thing in the morning tomorrow, first thing in the morning on Sunday. No question about it. Skip today, work, and then the show. I don't really have the time for it on a Friday. So right back at it tomorrow and Sunday. Also, last weekend, I don't know if we've got any fans here who are gamers. But if you are and you've played a game called Red Dead Redemption 2, last weekend, Liam and I, we went to Indianapolis to a PopCon convention. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dorkfest and, Star Wars freaks and everything. And don't get me wrong, there was some of that. But what else was there was, tables to go up and meet and get autographs from the actors from the video games. And what some of you may not know is that a lot of times these guys are not just voice acting. They're actually doing the body double as well. So what we got to do was we got to go and get a selfie and an autograph from one of the actors from the Red Dead Redemption video game series. For those of you who've played it, it's the actor who plays John Marston. His name is Rob Whitehoff. Got to meet him, got to take a picture. It's a selfie picture. Liam actually gave up his opportunity to get an autograph for himself so that he could get an autograph for a friend of his who actually has a replica of the hat that the character wears in the game. Then we also went to an private autograph thing, where you got to, up to 4 people got to take pictures with a duo of Rob Whitehoff and another gentleman by the name of Roger Clark, who is the actor for, he portrays Arthur Morgan in the Red Dead Redemption 2 video game. Super nice guys. And actually, I'll tell you what, man, it was a really fun atmosphere. And as we got closer to these dudes, the look on Liam's face, he was just so excited to, to meet these guys. And it was fun. It was a fun day with my son. So we did that last Saturday. Mind you, Friday night we did the show at the back porch. It was also one of my folks from the Midwest Eagles Nest. It was his birthday last Friday. So we were up there late. We were drinking. Then I was up early here on the road out to Indianapolis all day in Indy with Liam, having a great time. Drive back. By the time Sunday came around, I was completely hitting the gym every night, and work has been a little crazy. So I am looking forward to just kind of, gym over the weekend and home relaxing with my family. My daughter does have a spring concert on Sunday afternoon. I think it's her last one for the year for her choir thing that she does with 5th grade. And she's graduating 5th grade. So on May 21st, I think. Yeah, it's the day after her birthday. I'll be leaving work early to head over to her school for that. So that's what's going on here this weekend, right? And what happened last weekend. How the hell are all of you? Who else we got in here? Keenan Harmon hops in telling Lou every day is tough on him. Yeah. Keenan again. Been watching Keon Coleman all week and laughing my ass off. And Lou Mancini says, looks like we're going to get rain in Philly as well. Well, is it rain or is it rain in tears of Sixer fans? We'll get to that. But let's get down to business here. Once again, my what do you got here? Dave Conant, never not working. Bullshit. Lou Mancini, did you get a new Kelly Green Dawkins jersey? Yes, I got this. Actually, I got it during last season. And I think I wore it on the show once or twice, but it's not like I wear it every week. So, but yeah, this is my Dawkins. I know some people gave me shit, told me I screwed up, should have gotten Andre Waters. Well, Waters wasn't available from the guy I get my jerseys from. Dawkins was, and Dawkins is my favorite player. So this is the jersey. And I love it. So I am fully prepared for whatever color the Eagles go. I can match jerseys with any color that they're going to wear. Whether it's Kelly Green, except for the white jersey. I will not buy a white jersey with the intent to wear it out anywhere. Because I'd be petrified that, there'd be buffalo wings shit all over it, cheesesteak grease, beer, snot. You know what I mean? Whatever. So we don't we don't do that. Andy Bagley. Is this thing not working? I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. Is everyone hearing me all right? I think you guys are. Anyways, and lo and behold, my printer decided to go on the fritz again. So I have my run sheet pulled up on my phone, and we're going to try to do it this way. Not that my eyes are getting any better. But let's get down to business here. Folks, if you're tuning in on Facebook or Twitter, and tonight you are not tuning in on Facebook. Once again, when I went to set up the show, there was the message wasn't there. I set it all up. I hit create live stream. I walked away. I came back 20 minutes later, and the thing hadn't even posted because it said, "You damn Facebook connection had been lost by StreamYard again. So I called Super Sam. She's out at the beach. I feel terrible about bothering her. She's going to look into it later. And, so tonight we are just Twitter and YouTube. Andy Begley, can we put the flags at half mast for the Sixers? Not in this house, dude. But anyways, back down to business. If you're tuning in on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere else, please do not forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe to the Green Legion. If those services are where you're more comfortable, we totally get it. But please understand the YouTube channel. As you ask anybody, well, not anybody, but most folks in the room, the YouTube channel is the best way to view, listen, and comment on any streaming Green Legion radio show. So please do us a solid, even if you're more comfortable elsewhere. Facebook, when we get reconnected, Twitter, whatever. Head on over to YouTube anyways. Search the Green Legion. Hit your little button for subscribe. Hit your bell for notifications. And regardless of service, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, share that everywhere. Share all of them. Subscribe to all of them and share them all over the place. We want to flood the interwebs with the Green Legion and Green Legion Radio. Upcoming trips, Green Legion and Phil's Fever invade London June 3rd through June 10th. Every week, you hear me talk about it. At the bottom of the screen here, you see it. Trips.greenlegion.com, scrolling across the bottom there. If you are interested in anything I am about to read off here, head to that website, get yourself signed up. Phil's Fever, Green Legion, invade London, June 3rd through June 10th. Only Philly sports experience company that successfully traveled 1,846 people to London and brought all of them back as well. So, again, bottom of your screen there, trips.greenlegion.com. If you think you'd like to go see your Phillies play in London, get on over to that website, get yourself signed up. June 14th to June 16th, the Green Legion invades Baltimore and the Inner Harbor. Short trip down from Philly for you, right? Again, the website, trips.greenlegion.com. Here, bottom of your screen, scrolling across on the banner. The big summer trip, one that I would really love to go on, but I'm not going to be able to because we do just family stuff on the 4th of July. But the Green Legion invades Chicago for Phillies at Cubs, July 3rd through July 6th. Like I said, that is 4th of July weekend. So 4th of July in Chicago at Wrigleyville, fireworks over the lake. If I was a Phillies fan, that would be the trip, and I could pull it off. That would be the trip I would go on. Honestly, I would go if I could do it anyways. Like if this was 5 years from now, well, my daughter's only 11, so I guess I'm being a little aggressive. But if the kids were growing out of the house already, believe me, that would be the trip we're going on. And another thing I want you to keep in mind for not this baseball season, but next baseball season. Something that Chris Sack, Lou Dominguez, and I have been discussing. We have been wanting to get together to go see, to get to a ballpark together. We talk baseball constantly. I've popped in on Lou and Ashley's podcast. Lou and I have done the Bud Light Baseball Brunch before, and I've had both of those gentlemen on this show a couple of times. And we love the game. Yes, we all root for different teams. Me, the Yankees, Chris, the Phillies, Lou, the Marlins. But we all love the game. And we're all chasing down the ballparks. And all doing it in our own way, right? So Chris is, for Chris, it's an adult trip. Be it with his dad or his buddies or his wife. For me, for Lou, it's Lou and Ashley and their venture with, 305 Sports Travel where they can, or, maybe just the two of them. For me, it's an adventure I'm going on with my sons. So we're all chasing down the same thing. We're all at different points. And while Chris has seen the most stadiums, there are some that he's not seen that Lou has, that I have, and all the way around. So it becomes tough because I'm a little bit of a pain in the ass about going to see a new ballpark without my boys. So what we decided is it looks like maybe sometime next year, and we're in planning stages, right? Just kind of talking about it now. The three of us may hook up at a stadium that we've already been, all three of us have already been to, but that we would love to go back to. One that would be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that. And we might try to make that a thing. We might try to make that a trip, something to advertise. So just stay tuned. Could be a really fun time for everybody. Also, so back to the Green Legion stuff. You guys know about Brazil. I don't have to keep going over this. If you haven't signed up already, I don't know what the hell's the matter with you. Trips.greenlegion.com, bottom of the page. Okay. What we found out is it looks like the full 2024 NFL schedule release is going to be Thursday, May 9th. So next Thursday. So it's like I've said all along, right? When the Green Legion, when we send out the information that, hey, early bird is available, that's like Black Friday, right? Because you know who we're playing. You just don't know when. So Black Friday, let me get my deposit in. And then Christmas Day, schedule release. Looks like we're going to get that next Thursday. So I would expect between now and next Thursday, these guys, your Adam Schefters, your Todd McShays, all these people, they are going to be spending a great deal amount of their time trying to get the leak out, for certain games. This is part of the Monday night schedule. This is part of the Sunday night schedule, yada, yada, yada. So that's going to start coming at us pretty fast and furious from now through into next Thursday when the actual release happens. Again, like we've talked about, what are we looking at this year? Birds away trips. New Orleans. That's number one on the list for Michelle and I. We've already got our deposit in. We are ready to go. Tampa went there last year. I mean, I would go back again, but I'm trying. I have the goal of not just baseball stadiums. I want to see every football stadium as well. And we're a little past the halfway point with baseball and approaching the halfway point with football. Now my boys are not included in the football one. That's just a me thing. But New Orleans, Tampa, Los Angeles, Cincinnati, Dallas, these are all your airfare from Philly, bigger trips. Your bus trips will be Baltimore, Washington, and New York. So if you haven't put in an early bird already, my only question has been to this point, what the hell are you waiting for? Okay? Don't know what you're waiting on. I don't know what your problem is. Get your shit straight, and let's go. Want to see you out on the road? You want an opportunity to come see UnHappy Gilmore live and in person? Cincinnati, guaranteed. It will not matter what weekend that is. I will be there. I will be here the entire time with the Green Legion. Now, I may work the first day y'all get in and then, have the rest of the time off to be with you. But, other than that, I will be with you the whole time. The other opportunity, hopefully it's New Orleans. We are hoping for New Orleans in like November because of the heat. And I get it, Keenan. I totally understand. Fingers crossed, Nola, your birthday's October 13th. I understand, dude. I'm concerned about that sweltering bayou humidity that I really don't want to deal with. So, yeah. Fanny, Cleveland is in Cleveland. No. The Browns head to Philadelphia for that game. The Eagles come here to Cincinnati. Not Cleveland. Okay? So for those of you that don't know how the schedule rotates, every year your division, amongst their as well as other games, obviously, plays teams from a division in the other conference. So this year, everyone in the NFC East is going to play everyone in the AFC North. That rotation is once every 4 years. What else rotates is who gets the home game. So while we will play the Bengals every 4 years, it is every 8 that the Eagles will come here to Cincinnati, right? So we'll play the Bengals in 2024 here in Cincinnati. Then we'll play them again in 2028, and that game will be in Philly. And then in 2032, we'll play them again here in Cincinnati, and so on and so forth. All right, so that's how that works. So, Fanny, for Cleveland, the Browns go to Philadelphia this year. But yeah, so Thursday, May 9th looks like the date that we will for sure have all our information. For those of you that are part of my Midwest Eagles nest out here, I say it every week on the show. I've talked to some of you privately. I want to make sure you understand the Cincinnati trip that the Green Legion, go to trips.greenlegion.com. You do not, living here in Cincinnati, unless you actually want the full hotel and everything, you don't need to put in a deposit. What most of you are going to be looking for, because you live here, is your game day options. Okay? That's ticket, tailgate, pep rally, and so forth. And I will let you know when those become available. They are not available on the website right now. That usually will not become available till sometime later in the summer. Green Legion, we have to make sure that the full travel package people are taken care of first, and then your game day option packages will come out after that. And I will make sure that all of you are aware. The minute that is available, I will get that up in our group. Okay? So please don't panic. Some of you are asking questions already. Don't worry. All right? If you want to go secure your own tickets, and I'm talking specifically to my Cincinnati folks, I totally understand. A lot of you have lived here for some time. You've made your own connections. You know, some of you can get tickets for free. Maybe you get tickets through your company. Your friends got tickets. You get them for whatever. Get them for face value. Get them however, whatever. Totally get it. The only thing that I am asking from all of you, this is my Midwest Eagles Nest group here, for any of you listening, now or later on, I am only asking that you do the Green Legion tailgate. Okay? I'd love to see you do the pep rally, ticket, and tailgate. But I'm only asking for you to do the tailgate. All right? We do a lot to try to get everyone together during the off season. We do a lot of work to make sure you guys have a good experience when you come out and hang with us on game day. The only thing I'm asking is that you give me a good, strong showing at the Green Legion tailgate. And then, if you got your own tickets, you got your own tickets. So there you go. I will tell you that the tailgate is probably going to run roughly $100 per person. That will be 4 hours of all you can eat, all you can drink, walking distance to Paycor Field. And pretty sure I was able to get Quimby and Steph the right contact to get set up at the Holy Grail, which means we will have indoors. So if it's raining, if the game is late in the year and it's freezing, if the game's early in the year and it's still really hot, yes, you'll face the elements during the football game, but you will not face them during the tailgate. We will have indoor availability to keep you out of that weather. So believe me when I tell you, I know $100 sounds like a bunch, but you're talking 4 hours. So figure $25 an hour. All you can eat, all you can drink. All right? If you go down there and you do on your own and you have 4 vodka and Red Bull, just for sake of argument, and you eat a few. I'm telling you, you're going to approach with tip and everything. You're going to start approaching that number anyways. And what you won't have is the experience of hanging out with nothing but birds. Now, don't get me wrong. They'll be fans of other. we don't shut the doors out for it. If Bengal fans want to purchase, it's a business, guys. We're going to let Bengal fans in too. But it is going to be a sea of green. The experience of a Green Legion tailgate is unmatched. The 4-hour, all you can eat, all you can drink. The people that you'll meet. And trips like this, where it's a smaller city, not exactly a hotbed destination place, what we're likely to get is a lot of the group that we call the Green Legion legends, who have been traveling with the Green Legion for 20 years. And those folks, when they come out, that's where, those types of groups, a little bit smaller group, lots of fun. You also get to check us out live on the pregame show, which will air straight from the, which will air during the tailgate, at the tailgate. So overall, the experience is what you're paying for. And the food and drink price ain't bad either. So there you go. All right, let's hop back over to the room here. Fanny is in the room. We saw that. Fanny says, love the jersey. I have my Kelly Green Barkley jersey already. And I do have a confession to make to my Green Legion audience. I am usually not, let me go run out and buy the jersey right away guy. Okay? Dawkins is not like, it's Dawkins, right? I've got a Westward. I have my Weapon X jersey. It's my game day jersey. I have this Dawkins jersey. I have a piece of shit Dawkins jersey. Just some cheapo one. I have a black stitched Westbrook jersey. I have an old Donovan McNabb black jersey. Saquon Barkley was probably my favorite collegiate athlete, college football player anyways. If not my favorite, close to it. And now he's on my favorite NFL team. So, yeah. I have a guy who gets me jerseys for $50 a piece. I bought a Saquon Barkley jersey. So, you guys can crucify me all you want, but he's my guy. I was devastated when he got drafted by the Giants. I was also devastated when Micah Parsons went to freaking Dallas. So, but yeah, I got the Barkley jersey. So Fanny, get it. Got it. You got a Kelly Green one. Good for you. Mine is Midnight Green, number 26, hanging up in the closet right over there. Oh, Keenan, 10-9-8-70 Sucksers. Doesn't that suck to suck? Dave Conn in the room wants to know where you can get a tinfoil hat and some magic beans. Those are back in production, brother. We sold out. So, Cleveland, no. The NFL may be flag football by 2032, so don't get ahead of yourself. Yeah, that's very true, brother. Very, very true. Keenan, come to Philly, Fanny. Meet you all at the Green Legion tailgate. Yeah, Fanny, if you're going to go to Philadelphia, Green Legion does home tailgates at Xfinity Live down at the sports complex. Okay? Talking 700 people, 750 people. No ticket options there. You have to get your own. But the tailgate experience, again, pregame show live right from that spot. All you can eat, all you can drink, 4 hours leading up to the game. So if you're heading in, let me know, and we'll try to get you hooked up with the Green Legion. And make sure you tell them UnHappy Gilmore sent you. Dave Connick, I may come just for the tailgate so I can meet some of these crazy people I chat with here. I, however, will never step foot in that stadium until Mike Brown is gone. Totally get it. Piece of shit owner. Got it. Fanny, who's this new guy we got? Well, we got a bunch of new guys. So we're going to talk some of the draft picks here in a few minutes. I'm not going to go into the undrafted free agent signings and all of that. We'll save that for maybe next week when we talk schedule and that. So tonight we're just going to do Boner of the Week. And then I'm going to open it up for anybody who wants to join in. And then, we'll talk some of the draft picks. And then we're going to call it a night. Bagley, Phil's down 2-0, stop in a second. Well, that sucks, brother. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. So, now that we've got I was waiting for it. We got Mustard Guy. He's a baller. Yeah, we're going to talk these guys in just a minute. And Andy Bagley would like to add, I would like to thank Apple TV for ruining my watch of the game tonight. They are the worst announcers on the planet. A couple seasons ago, when Aaron Judge was chasing the American League home run record held by Maris, they had one of the games was a Friday night Apple TV game. So I was forced to go ahead and get the service. And I just did the trial and then canceled. But it was Dave. I think it was Dave. I'm pretty sure it was you that warned me ahead of time that those announcers were atrocious. And boy, were you not kidding. They are brutal. And look, I've had MLB.TV for as long as I've been a T-Mobile customer. So, I mean, what is that? What am I on here? 9 years now? Where they give it away for free if you're a T-Mobile customer. So I will listen because I'll watch any baseball game. Yeah, I watch the Yanks. I do watch the Phillies. But I'll turn on a Red Sox game just, because I hate them. I'll turn on whatever. And so I've heard some really bad announcers. Those Apple TV announcers have got to be the absolute worst on the planet in the league. They're the worst in the league. It can't get worse than that. All right, moving on. Let's get to the boner of the week. You guys are going to like this one. Well, I don't think you'll like the opening of it as much as you will the ending of it. Let's put it that way. So, boner of the week. All week long, I'm like, it's got to be a LeBron James, right? Once he got bounced out of the playoffs, it's got to be a LeBron James, especially with all his posturing and bullshit. And we all know, well documented on my social media pages and here on this podcast, my disdain for one LeBron James. However, he had some competition this week. So in the nature of the Kentucky Derby happening this week, we're going to call this a trifecta. And 3 different ways we could have gone here, and I just figured let's just go ahead and talk about all of them. First one we'll keep brief because he is a friend. But how about our very own Michael Shut Up Diaz? Yeah. Remember when Diaz came on the show last year before the NBA season started, or like right at the beginning of it, and I had him and Grady banter back and forth, Knicks versus Sixers? You guys remember Diaz, who boldly predicted that the New York Knicks would be a mid-level playoff seed at best and have no shot of beating the Sixers had they run into them? You guys remember Diaz? Mind you, this was our illustrious Sixers expert here at Green Legion Radio making these predictions here on this show in a conversation with my then 16-year-old son. Like I said, we'll keep this one brief, but dude, like I told you, Knicks in 6, buddy. I couldn't help it. I had to take the shot. Some of you probably saw earlier today, Lou Dominguez fired one over the bow. We've not heard much from Diaz today, so I'm sure he's licking his wounds a little bit. And I'm not usually the type to kick a guy when he's down, but him and I were kind of back and forth at the start of the series during game 1, back and forth a little bit. There was a little shit talking. So I'm going to take my shot now that the series is over. And, told you, Knicks in 6, bud. Keenan Harmon says Diaz is still trusting the process going on 12 years now. So what I really wanted to do was I wanted to get a picture of MC Hammer in those big old pants when he's doing that dance for the You Can't Touch This video, and Photoshop, crop out MC Hammer's head and put Embiid's head on there with the word process across his forehead, and at the top put "You can't trust this." I didn't quite have enough time to pull the trigger between last night and today, though. So had the Knicks lost last night and this went to game 7, that game would have been tomorrow night, in which case I would have had the time to create the thing. But, oh well. You still can't trust this Diaz. It's time to stop it. Look, personally, before we move on to our next boner of the week, personally, look, I give Joel Embiid a ton of credit for being out there on the floor with his knee in the condition that it is. Two problems. First and foremost, it's every time you talk to a Sixers fan, the first words out of their mouth are what? Well, if Embiid's healthy, we'll do this. Well, if Embiid's healthy, we can beat that. It always starts with if Embiid is healthy, because he's never freaking healthy. Ever. Is he a beast? Yes, of course he's a beast. He also, my second problem with him, fourth quarter numbers in this series. Guy tends to fold up a little bit late in the game. And I don't want to hear about his triple-double in Game 5. That was the Tyrese Maxey coming out party, okay? That game, Embiid, yes, triple-double. He also had 9 turnovers. So he was not that might be the most hollow triple-double I think I've ever watched with my own eyes. In the waning moments of that game, why the hell Thibodeau doesn't just, we're up by 3, why the hell Thibodeau doesn't just foul Maxey is beyond me. Instead, he lets the kid fly right up the court, and that might be the fastest man in the league. And the minute he pulled up, I don't care where it was from. He shot it from the logo. I don't care where it was from. The minute he pulled up, I'm like, this is going to overtime. We're done. And sure enough, splash. He was unconscious that night. Anyways, I don't want to get too far off track here at Sixers, but in my opinion, I think it's time for your Sixers to start looking seriously at starting to move away from building the team around Embiid and start looking at building the team around Tyrese Maxey, because that kid really, truly is something special. And I'm not trying to say Embiid isn't a special talent. We all know he is. He's just never healthy. And he may never be healthy. Right? I mean, one more with the meniscus or whatever, and that might be it. It might be curtains for him. So I would start looking at building around Maxey. That kid is unbelievable. The speed, he brings it all. You got yourself a special player there. And for God's sake, get Tobias Harris off your freaking roster. My God. Dave Conant, Lakers said the same thing. If AD is, I don't care. I just don't care that much. But we'll leave Diaz alone now because he is a friend, right? We don't want to kick him too much when he's down. We'll move on to our next one. How about the New York Giants fans who have been in an uproar about Saquon Barkley signing in Philly, traded in his blue for midnight green? I mean, you've seen these folks, right? They're all pissed off constantly about it, screaming about how the Birds tampered, and it looks like we may have, and we're going to get punished. But these are the same Giants fans who, when he got drafted, they were gushing all over him every year, even when he would get hurt, right? Which, knock on wood, I just talked about Embiid injuries. It's not like Saquon hasn't had his. Oh, Dave, I'm sorry, man. I didn't want to keep going down that rabbit hole with basketball. But now that Barkley is this supposed traitor, he's just an injury-prone bum. Now you can see these guys, these same people who were singing his praises, all trying to throw out these numbers and everything that, how many games he missed, all this shit. How could you possibly leave, the Giants for the Eagles? Calling him a traitor for being at the Sixers-Knicks game last night with A.J. Brown, booing the Knicks fans who were at the game in Philly last night, which, by the way, again, that Sixer fans should be embarrassed by that. When they showed Barkley with AJ on the Jumbotron, huge boos raining down on him. And I love Barkley's response on Twitter. He puts, laugh out loud. It's been 2 months. Y'all can't still be that mad. And then here come all the responses. One dipshit responds with, You bailed on New York, sow the wind, reap the whirlwind. Whatever the hell that means. And it goes on, people bashing him. And then you get Barkley's priceless response to this. He says, let me educate some of you fans here. I can't bail or become a traitor if I never got an offer to come back. So I went to the organization I felt that was the best. And after already being here for a month, man, I'm excited to be an Eagle. Go Birds. I mean, dude, talk about rubbing salt in the wound, right? The guy leaves the Giants for the Eagles. He's at the Knicks and Sixers game last night with A.J. Brown, obviously rooting for the Sixers. And then, oh man, I just can't get enough. So, like I said, second boner of the week up, Giants fans. Way to go. I think all of you that are bashing him now are the same people who are still supporting Daniel Jones as your starting quarterback. You must be. Which, at this point, folks, should earn you a 2-star Boner of the Week award, because I will tell you without question now, if you are still supporting Daniel Jones as a legitimate starting quarterback in this league, and you are a Giants fan, and you are happy that that man is still your quarterback, I am telling you right now that you are far worse than any of us who supported Carson Wentz longer than we should have, myself included. Yeah, that's who you are. And now, folks, let's cap off the trifecta. The recently playoff eliminated, and I know Dave Connor's going to love this one, the recently playoff eliminated LeBron James bounced in the first round. And what else happened today? LeBron James leaves yet another head coach in his wake of bullshit. Darvin Ham gets shown the door this afternoon. Now, look, is it probably the right move? Probably, but this is it's the same thing over and over again with James. Sticking with the coaching thing with LeBron James. If he decides to play next season, and let's be honest, he's far too arrogant not to, right? This whole I want to play with Bronny thing. I'm starting to wonder if he's using that as a way to stay. He's got to be. He's all about himself. So he's far too much of an egomaniac not to play next year. And he says he wants to play his final year with his son, which part of me wants to believe is true and wants to respect it, that you've played as a professional basketball player long enough to see your son come into the league. You know, like Ken Griffey Sr. did with Junior in baseball. But if he decides to play next year, he will have the 10th different head coach of his career. Keep in mind, 9 of his 24 seasons are with Eric Spoelstra and Mike Brown, which means to this point, in the other 15 years that he's played, he's had 7 different head coaches. 7. Basically a new one every 2 years. I wonder why. See, LeBitch bounces from team to team. He makes them use up all their resources, destroys their roster to try to create a super team, usually with some aging veterans or guys who can't stay healthy. Anthony Davis. And then, when the organization is all tapped out, dried up, money spent, cap hell, blah, 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 he moves on. He leaves and goes to another one and starts the process all over again. You guys know what else does that? A fucking virus. Yes, I said it. Mr. Floppenheimer over there is a disease on any organization that he joins. Then let's throw in all of the flopping. I just called him Floppenheimer. The flopping, the ridiculous antics on the court, trying to get fans kicked off the court. Honorable mention here to Pat Beverly for throwing a ball into the stands. He really should have been the boner of the week, but he's kind of just an asshole. The flopping, the constant begging refs for calls, and it's just a horrible look for a guy that has been quoted calling himself the GOAT. First of all, anyone that calls themselves the GOAT is over arrogant and completely obnoxious to begin with. Nobody should ever call themselves that. And I'm sorry, but him calling himself the GOAT is completely false anyways. There is criteria to enter that conversation, okay? Stats, rings, how you stacked up against your peers, your teammates, all of that stuff. And LeBron enters that conversation. He's got 4 rings. He's got all the stats on the planet. However, then there's that small group that you discuss, and the conversation will go on forever because it's so difficult to compare era over era. But one of the things that you have to meet in that criteria, at least for me anyway, is you have to have led a dynasty, right? You have to have been part of led that dynasty. And I'm sorry, nobody ever discusses that part of it. All you ever hear about is how LeBron has made 10 championships. Well, he's lost 6 of them. Okay? And he's been shit in big moments. I think he shoots 8 for his career in the final 5 seconds of a game. I saw the stat the other day. He shoots 18% for his career. And he has the ball a lot in those situations. He could have had that dynasty with Miami. But what happened? They lost that series to the Dallas Mavericks. Michael Jordan's Bulls don't lose that series. Magic Johnson's Lakers don't lose that series. Larry Bird's Celtics don't lose that series. Isaiah's Pistons don't lose that series. They just don't. So no, you incredibly over-arrogant, Floppenheimer, pompous asshat, you are not the GOAT. Because again, the GOAT never has to tell anyone that he's the GOAT. The GOAT pays respect to all the players before him. The GOAT is told he's the GOAT by everyone else, by his contemporaries, by his peers, by the guys who were there before him, like a Magic Johnson, like a Larry Bird. The GOAT is Michael Jordan, period. LeBron James is an all-time great, but he's not in that class. And for continuing to posture as if he is, and continuing to think that some team should draft his son. Look, I'm sure Brian's a nice kid, but to think this kid is NBA ready is foolish. He likely belongs in the G League, if not continuing to stay at college. But somebody's going to draft him because they need LeBron James for some reason or another. I wouldn't do it. No thanks. And I'm hoping more teams feel that way to solidify the fact that you, LeBron, take the cake this week as boner of the week. You are the leader of the trifecta. So there, we went on and on and on there. But, yeah. So Michael shut up Diaz, Giants fans, and LeBron James. Dave Conant says, LaFlop, LaBitch, LaJerk definitely will never be the GOAT. He is 100% a virus. Thank you for agreeing with me there. Keenan Harmon, he's the alien species from the Independence Day movie. Exactly. Keenan Harmon again. The only athlete that called themselves the GOAT and could get away with it was Ali. Yeah, but that was kind of his shtick, right? Dave Kahn again. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. Kobe and Michael would have never said that. Bird and Magic would have never said that. It's only basketball because he lost. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. Had he won, it would have been, all, give me my flowers, blah, blah, blah. You know how he is. He's a jerk. All right. You guys have hung out long enough for this. Let's at least talk a couple of draft picks here before we call it a night. The first one I want to clear the air on, and you can click that link and pop in the show if you choose to. Come on in. You want to talk draft picks or whatever, join on in if you'd like. One thing I do want to clear up. In the 5th round, our second pick of the 5th round, we took Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I need everyone to understand, and I believe that most of my audience, most of our Green Legion audience, you're aware. You know. Take it easy, Dave. Thanks for popping in, my brother. But I also think, I think you're aware that Junior is not his father, okay? Now, I'm not trying to say he's not talented or anything of that nature. I just want everyone to be aware of the fact that this kid is a 5th-round pick. He is not a 1st-round pick. He is not a 3rd-round pick. He's not even a 3rd-round pick like his father was. He is a 5th-round pick. Now, granted, he's a 5th-round pick in an era where offense is everything. So, if you look back some years, had it been like when his father was drafted, maybe he's up a little higher. But the bottom line is, the kid's not going to need that unjust pressure, okay? And I know it sounds weird we're starting with a 5th-round pick here, but I need everyone to understand, and I'm sure all of you do. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is not Jeremiah. He's not the Hammer, okay? Not yet. He's got a lot to prove before that can happen. I think it's great. He's got his dad's number and everything. And believe me, if there's a kid that I think can handle that kind of pressure, it's probably Junior because his dad played in Philly. But there are some posts out there from some yahoos, from your, I like to call them casuals, who think that this kid is going to just sashay out onto the field and be his dad. And that's foolish. You're going to be disappointed. First of all, he's a rookie. So let's temper the expectations right there. Nice little career in college. That's Saturday football. Time to step up to the big boys on Sunday. Now, what does bode in his favor? Again, he knows what the Philly audience is all about. He knows the culture of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I believe, looking at this draft, Vic Fangio had a lot of input into the defensive players taken, which bodes well for a kid like Trotter, because obviously he got the nod from his now defensive coordinator. So, look, we all want big things out of everyone that we pick. The bottom line is it's just not reality. So let's let the kid get to Philly. Let's let the kid get his feet under him, and let's let the kid grow into the role. And who knows? Maybe somewhere down the road, he could be that guy. We shouldn't pick based on name. He fell the 5th round for a reason. We should not have drafted based on sentimental attachments, just like Creedy estimate. Yeah, but he's a 5th-round pick. So I'm not really overly concerned with it. It was a 5th-round pick in a round where we had 3 picks of the 9 we had overall. I do not have a problem with the draft pick. I would have had a problem with it if they took him in the 3rd round. Then you could look at it and be like, all right, you 100% did this based on your last name. But he's sitting there, 155th pick, right? All the way down in the 5th round. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a good pick. I think he's a good kid. I think he can help. I just think you got to give him time, right? 5th-round picks are not guys that just walk right out onto the field and start right away. Keenan Harmon. Howie's best draft ever. Didn't reach at all. Started with 8 picks, ended with 9, and 2 in the pocket for next year. Thought it was 3 in the pocket for next year with a 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, but you may be right. I don't completely agree with you on the not reaching. And there's the link again if anybody wants to pop in. And the only reason why I say that is because of Jalix Smith Hunt at the with our 3rd round pick, the edge rusher out of Houston Christian University. You guys know my opinion on this stuff. My earlier rounds, I do not want to see picks from small whatever schools. I want to see SEC football, Big Ten football. That's what I want to see. Now, I didn't get that, and I'm not the one out there drafting, okay? But let's take a look at Jalix Hunt's draft profile. 6'4", 252, edge rusher. So he's definitely – no, it's yeah, Fanny, he went way outside the box. Keenan says, I don't like little schools. I don't like little schools early in the draft. But again, I'm not Vic Fangio. I gave Trotter Jr. his flowers for Vic giving him the nod. Could be the same thing here. Okay. So combine, he ran to 40 and 4.6. So a little bit slower than Nolan Smith and Reddick. All right, so he starts his collegiate career at Cornell, played in 7 games as a reserve safety with 3 tackles. That's in 2019. 2020, the school, Cornell, didn't play at all due to COVID-19 concerns. 2021, he plays all 10 games with 1 start at safety, 26 tackles, 1 pass broken up, 1 block kick. 2022, second team All Southland Conference, I guess this is when he transfers. Led the team with 11.5 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Started all 11 games at defensive end, 87 tackles, 2 pass breakups. And then 2023, Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Year. First team all conference, led team with 9 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks, tied for team lead with 2 forced fumbles, started all 10 games, 46 tackles, 1 pick return for a touchdown. So he did well. Who the fuck was he playing against, at Houston Christian University? Southland Conference? It's like that line from the movie Major League. Who the hell are these fucking guys? So I just feel like it leaves a lot to be seen. Now, when you scroll and you look at his overview, Hunt is a small school edge defender possessing notable athletic traits and the potential to get bigger and stronger. He currently lacks the lower body anchor and general play strength to go up against NFL opponents, but the team drafting him is likely to view him as a developmental prospect in need of time to build his frame and his game. Developmental prospect is fine. I would have liked to see a guy who could make a little bit quicker impact in the coming out of the 3rd round. But again, Hunt's speed is obvious as a pass rusher and in run pursuit, but proving he can survive against a downhill running attack could be the difference between challenging for a rotational role or hoping to become a designated pass rusher. His strengths: he is a former safety with the frame to keep adding muscle mass as a pro, shoots upfield and finds acceleration around the rush, can bend and dip the edge or dart inside the tackle with nimble feet, a la Hassan Reddick. Big-time closing burst to swallow up quarterbacks once he's in the vicinity. Athleticism, motor, and range bolster playmaking potential against the run. His weaknesses: struggles to stand his ground at point of attack due to lack of play strength. Gets glued to blockers once they find his frame. Long legs and lean lowers allow blockers to punch him off balance. Needs to eliminate his false steps as a pass rusher. Rush needs to feature better handwork and a more diverse attack. So he's a project. Overall the rating was 6.14, which rates him as a good backup with the potential to develop into a starter. So we'll see. That's the one. Look, the first two picks, I can't tell you how excited I am to see this secondary get out on the field this year. Which, if you look at last season, is something we never thought we would say, right? I think the addition of Devin White obviously helps the middle of the field. Maybe this kid can make a difference there. Maybe Trot Jr. can make a difference there too in a Vic Fangio defense. But the secondary, guys, look, I understand everybody's disdain for James Bradbury, but if you think at least some of that wasn't at least somewhat due to coaching, again, I got magic beans on backcourt. Now, do I also think some of it is just Bradbury? Sure. Do I think Darius Slay's getting older? Of course. But look at this secondary now. Slay, Bradbury, we brought Avonte Maddox back on a reduced prove-it contract. Fantastic. C.J. Gardner-Johnson comes back. He can play safety and corner, nickel corner. Really, Ringo, Job. Or Ricks, Ringo, Job. And now you add Quinion Mitchell, who was the number 1 rated corner in the draft, albeit out of Toledo. And then Cooper DeJean falls to number 40. And I'm telling you now, that is 100% because of the rash of offense that went off the board. That draft was insane. We didn't have a defensive player taken until pick 15. How he had his pick of the litter with corners, he took Quinion Mitchell. Not going to kill him for it. Number 1 rated corner on the board. And then down into the second round, how he's watching the board. Cooper's still sitting there. Let's trade up and get him. So now you have natural corners in Mitchell, Slay, Bradbury, Ricks, Ringo, Maddox. And you add the capability of safety or corner with Gardner-Johnson and Cooper DeJean. The versatility and depth of that secondary has got me over the moon excited for this team to take the field next year. I am pumped. I do think Cooper DeJean is going to see time at safety. I would like to see Reed Blankenship put on 20 pounds of muscle, move down to linebacker. But we'll see what happens there. Fanny, who would you prefer at edge, Huff or Hunt alongside Sweat? Well, it's going to be Huff. Huff's got the contract. Huff's got the experience. It's going to be Huff, and then you're going to have Graham come in there to take some snaps as well. This Hunt is going to have to do a lot of work to not be a special teams guy. And really, the other one you're forgetting about is Nolan Smith. So as we move into this year with Fletcher Cox retiring, it is time for what I've been calling the law firm of Carter and Davis to step up. Milton Williams, I have no worries about him at all. He's got a motor that doesn't shut off, does his job. He does it well. I love him in the rotation. But it's time for we spent top 10 picks the last 2 years prior to this draft on defensive tackles out of Georgia. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. It's time for those two to step up. And it's time for Nolan Smith to show us what he can do on the edge. So you are going to have a rotation of Huff, Sweat, Brandon Graham, and Nolan Smith coming off rushing the passer. And in the middle, you've got Carter, Davis, Milton Williams, and so on. So that's what you're looking at from a pass rush standpoint. I am still slightly concerned about the linebackers. I like Devin White. He's another one on a prove-it contract. A few weeks back, we had my friend Brian on here. He lives in Tampa. His buddy came on and kind of gave us the rundown on, what the city of Tampa thinks of this guy and how he kind of wore out his welcome down there, and that it was, he needed a change of scenery. And, he's a 1-year mercenary contract, so we'll see. But we're going to need some other dudes to step up in that linebacker position. I like, at least on paper, I like the way we look getting after the quarterback, and I like the way we look in the secondary. I am concerned still about the underneath middle of the field. I don't think the deep middle is going to be a problem anymore. Not with CJ, GJ, Cooper back there. The depth now in the secondary is just fantastic. So that's what I'm saying. So as far as you asked about the edge, Huff or Hunt alongside Sweat, it's going to be Sweat, Brandon Graham, Huff, and Nolan Smith doing their do-si-do there. Alex Hunt will have to just wait and see. Fanny, that really was. All those offensive players went back to back to back. Our cornerback room is lit. It is. Our secondary is unbelievable. The other picks, we can look at those again. We can look at those next week. I wanted to start with Trot just because he's not his dad. All right. And we can't have that kind of expectation. There was David Conant on our way back from Indianapolis last week that was texting me when that pick, because I was driving, I couldn't see the pick, and he's sending me messages telling me who the Eagles are picking, and he thought it was a mistake to take Trotter, and he thought it was a mistake based on some pressure that the fan base may put on him to be his dad. My response to that was that I understood if we're talking about a third-round pick, a second-round pick, God forbid a first-round pick. But we're talking about a fifth-round pick here. So I really think anyone who's out there expecting this kid to just step on the field and light the world on fire is your casual fan. These are your people who are on their social media high horse every time there's a free agent. They want us to sign him. These are your people who play the Madden video game with the freaking salary cap turned off. All right. So they just don't really understand how football works. Anybody who does, which I am so happy to say is pretty much my entire room every week, you guys know, fifth round pick, it's not likely that he's just going to, waltz out onto the field and all of a sudden become the hammer. So anyways, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up. I've been with you here for an hour and 10 minutes. Next week, by the time we come at you next week, schedule release will have already happened. So we will talk Green Legion trips. We will talk where everybody wants to go. We'll talk if New Orleans is going to be a thing for the Gilmores, for the Unhappy Brigade. If, when the Cincinnati game is going to be. So we can start making preparations for that. We'll also we'll probably try to take a look at our undrafted free agents as well and see what the birds are looking at there. That might be a little early for that. I don't know. We can take a look at our other draft picks, but it was mostly, you're talking about, I do like, okay, so one more I do want is Will Shipley, Clemson. You know what? We'll save that as a highlight for the next week. We'll do that. Anyways, folks, that's all I got this week. Thank you for being here, as always. Again, next week, we'll be talking a lot of the schedule and the excitement around that, what we're looking forward to, what we're bummed out about, so on and so forth. Until then, folks, this has been the Unhappy Gilmore Show, powered by Green Legion Radio, part of the Green Legion Radio family. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Have fun. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Remember that freaking judge is not back in until Monday morning. And as always, like we say every week, go Birds! Y'all take care. Be good. We love you.